Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about the topic marginal cost pricing, and in this short video we are going to discuss about what is marginal cost pricing and what are its advantages and what are its disadvantages. So first we will discuss what is actually marginal cost pricing. So marginal cost pricing is a strategy that is being used by monopolists and oligopolists. It's a practice of setting up the price of a commodity which is equal to or just above the variable cost of producing that product. So it is a kind of entry deterrent strategy that is applied by the monopolists and oligopolists. Sometimes it can be also a method for maximization of profit. So we can say that marginal cost pricing is a short-term strategy that is being used by the monopolist or the oligopolist. If it is a it is not a long-term strategy. If it is a long-term strategy, definitely it will affect the profitability of that particular firm. They cannot able to survive in the market. Now we are going to discuss the situation where the firm is going for this kind of marginal cost pricing. There are two kinds of situations where the firms are going for what marginal cost pricing strategy. The first situation is that the company has a small amount of remaining unused capacity which is available and they want to use that unremained capacity. Under such kind of situation, they can go for marginal cost pricing. The second scenario is that a company is unable to sell their product at a higher price. Since if that particular company is in the oligopoly market city scenario, if they are facing a stiff competition from their competitor, they have to go forward marginal cost pricing for in order to attract the customers in a shorter period of time. So the first scenario is in one which the company is likely to be financially stable. If the company is financially stable or healthy, they want to maximize their unused capacity and they can go forward the marginal cost pricing. The second scenario is that a company they are facing stiff competition from their competitor. So, for example, in a oligopoly scenario, in a monopolistic scenario, they are facing stiff competition from their competitor and know that the customers are price sensitive and they cannot able to rise the price. And in order to attract their customers, they have to go for marginal cost pricing for a shorter period of time. If they go for such kind of pricing strategy, they can, for a short period of time, they can able to attract the customers. Now we are going to discuss what are the advantages of marginal cost pricing. The first advantage of marginal cost pricing is that it adds profit. Okay, if you are applying what the marginal cost pricing strategy for a shorter period of time, they can able to attract more customers, and later time in the long period they can able to rise the price and thereby they can able to increase their profit. And for a financially healthy company, they can also use their unused capacity, thereby they can maximize their profit. That is also one advantage of marginal cost pricing. The second strategy, most important advantage of the marginal cost pricing is that market entrance or the entry deterrent strategy. The market cost pricing in nowadays, in modern days, most of the firm using it as a entry deterrent strategy. So in order to avoid the entry of the potential entrant, the oligopolist firms and the monopolist firms always goes for what? Marginal cost pricing for a shorter period of time. If they goes for marginal cost pricing, that is a price setting the price which is equal to or just above the variable cost of production, then definitely the scope for profitability is not there in that particular industry. So they can able to avoid the entry of potential entrant. So that is also an advantage of what the marginal cost pricing strategy. The third one is accessory sales. So if the customers are willing to buy the product accessories or services at a robust margin, normally almost all the customers are willing to buy the product accessories or the services at a minimum margin, and such kind of customers they can able to attract if the company, if the firm is going for marginal cost pricing, they can able to attract those kind of customers. So that is also one of the advantage of what marginal cost pricing. Now, what are the disadvantages of marginal cost pricing? First one is long-term pricing. You cannot go marginal cost pricing strategy as a long-term pricing strategy. If you are going for long-term pricing strategy, it will definitely affect the profitability of the company, and the company will be in loss in the long term. So it's a short-term pricing strategy. In the long term, you cannot go for long-term pricing strategy. The second disadvantage is that it ignores the market price. It ignores the market price. Marginal cost pricing, it ignores the market price that is prevailing in the market. It is a price that is set, which is the price which is equal to absolute minimum. And if the company is routinely using this marginal cost pricing strategy, and they are giving away the opportunity to enjoy more profit, if they are you routinely using these marginal cost pricing as a strategy, they are giving away the profit actually. So we can say that the marginal cost pricing ignores the market price, and it is a strategy where the price is set as absolute minimum. The third one is customer loss. Customer loss in the sense that if a company routinely engages in marginal cost pricing, then if they in the long run, if they attempt to raise the price, you know that the customers are price sensitive, then it will ultimately lead into the losing of customers for that particular company, and it ultimately leading into customer loss. Then the last disadvantage is cost focus. Cost focus in the sense that company has to focus on the cost of production as well. If the company routinely goes for this marginal cost pricing strategy, it affects their cost of production. It affects their cost of production, it affects their profitability as well. So if a company routinely go for this marginal cost pricing strategy, it will definitely affect their profitability, it will definitely affect their cost of production, and it can be considered as one of the disadvantage of the marginal cost pricing. So that's all about marginal cost pricing. It's a strategy that is being applied by firm. Pricing strategy that is being applied by the monopolist firm and oligopolist firms, and it's a strategy of setting up price which is equal to or slightly above the variable cost of production or variable cost of production. You have to understand one fact that most of the time the oligopolists and monopolists are using marginal cost pricing strategy, and they use it as an entry return strategy, and sometimes they can also use it as a strategy for maximization of profit. So that's all about marginal cost pricing. Hope you understood the concept. Thank you for watching.